this is Judy and welcome to March. March is going to be our organizing and decluttering month here at the library, and I want to tell you about a special webinar we're going to have. You may have heard of Marie Kondo, the famous organizer who wrote the book The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and she also wrote this book, Spark Joy, which is her famous catchphrase, if an object doesn't give you joy, then you should get rid of it. So we're going to have a webinar with a specially trained consultant, and she is going to be, that webinar will be available March 18th at 6 p.m. through March 19th at 6 p.m. And you will need a link to join that webinar. So you can get that from our program guide or our website, or call the library and we can hook you up with that link. But you don't want to miss that one. It's only available for that 24-hour period. Okay, to go along with that theme, our craft for today is going to be a drawer organizer. So you're going to put these boxes in your drawers, put your socks, your jewelry, whatever you need to organize that sits down inside your drawer. So that's going to begin with a 12 by 12 piece of scrap paper for the size box I made. So you're going to turn the scrapbook paper on the back side, and I'm going to turn it this way so that the point's facing me, the corner. And you're going to need a straight edge. A ruler isn't quite long enough, so you're going to need something that'll go from corner to corner. And I'm going to use a pencil because I don't want my mark to show on the other side of the page, so I'm just going to lightly take a pencil and make a mark from corner to corner. Now you can always adjust the size of your box by starting with a different size paper. So we're done with that and the pencil. So I'm going to keep the corner facing me, and I'm going to take the point, and it's going to go right to the center of my paper. Make a fold, and I'm going to do that with all 4 corners. Make a good crease down there at the bottom. This is just regular scrapbook paper. So we've got all our corners folded in. I'm going to fold out the 2 side pieces. So I've got this, and I'm going to take my glue stick. I'm going to put a little glue on these tips of these 2 corners so they stay stuck down to the paper. Okay, our next step is I'm taking the side and I'm taking this piece and I'm folding it right to that center pencil line and making a crease. And I'm going to do that with the other side. So now our tips aren't moving because we glued those down. Okay, I'm going to open that up again with the 2 sides that I folded in on the sides, and I'm going to fold up this point back up where it originally was, to the center spot. Now I'm going to take my scissors, and you can see there's a crease right here that we just made. I'm going to cut through both layers, the top layer and the bottom layer, just right up to the edge of that triangle. So we're going to have this piece loose. So I'm going to do that on both sides, and I'm going to fold the other side up and do the same thing. There's a crease there. I'm just cutting right on the crease, right to the edge. Okay. Now I'm taking my center piece and I'm going to fold it up to where I cut. So that's as far as that piece can go forward because that's where I ended my cut. Then I'll fold the side pieces up. Do that with both sides. And once we finish this little part, it's all going to come together. There's very, very even little glue used with this project. Okay, so I'm going to open it up again. I'm going to take these 2 little pointy pieces from the side, and I'm going to pull them in so that they overlap. And that creates both my sides and my end. And I'll take this part, just fold it right over, crease it down at the bottom, and I've already got 3 sides of my box made. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just pull those 2 pointy pieces together, fold the end over that, crease it down in the bottom. And I'm going to take my glue stick and glue those little points down that I just folded over, and we will have a paper box made. Now what I did with our organizer is I made 4 boxes, and I glued those 4 boxes together, and that would sit down in my drawer then. If you're going to leave it out, you don't want to put it in a drawer, you can always put some pretty ribbon around the outside. Glue that on if you want to leave it sit out on your top of your dresser or something. You can make as many boxes as you want, as big as you want. And the other nice thing about this project is you can also make a gift box with this same method. So I started out with a 6-inch square, I believe, for this one. But that would be the top of my box. The bottom of your box is going to be a 1/2 inch smaller square than the top, than the lid. So I started out with a 12-inch square here. If I cut an 11.5 inch square, that would be the bottom and this would be the lid of my gift box. So a couple uses for that little box right there. So let's go get organized. Thanks.